Namaste everyone, we are from Project Savers and in this video we will cover the next topic of C programming language, that is arrays. Arrays is a very important topic. So what is meant by arrays and how it works, why it is implemented. So let's understand it. So what is an array? When we want to store more than one value in a single variable, then we use arrays. Meaning if you want to store multiple values in a series in a single variable of same data type. The same data type means if we are entering 10, 20, 30 as the integer type, then the data type should be integer when we are declaring array. Okay, that's meant by array. So how we can declare array? Integer a of 5, meaning we have declared a variable that is capable of storing 5 integer elements. Okay, if we want to declare as a float, then we can do it too. Float a of 5 means we will able to store 5 elements of data type float. Okay, so as you can see in the memory map of array, internally how it works. So when we store 5 values of integer type, let's take an example of that, 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50. So internally it is stored in this way: a of 0, a of 1, a of 2, a of 3, a of 4 and so on. This a of 0, a of 1, 2 and 3 is the index of that value. If we want to access that value, we need to provide the index. Okay, meaning if you can see in the image, there is a of in square bracket 0, means at index of 0 the value is 10, same at a of 1 the value is 20 and so on. Okay, so how we can initialize array? There are two methods. If you want to predefine, means we need to define the value to be predefined, so we can declare that here in this type: int a of in square bracket 5 equal to in curly braces 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50. Means we can store only 5 elements in this int a of 5. If it was a of 6, then we can store 6 values. It just defines how much length of the array is. Okay, so to access each of the element, we can use printf %d comma a of 0, where a of 0 is the index. As I talked about it previously in the previous slide, you have seen that image where it indicates the index of each variable which is stored in array. Okay, so a of 0 means, so what will be print here? Value is 10 because we are accessing the 0 index. Okay, getting the element from 0th index. If we implemented here a of 1, then it will be get the value of 20. In arrays, the indexing starts from 0, which is very important point. In arrays, the indexing starts from 0. Okay, that's why we are getting value 10 at first at index 0. Okay, remember that. The second way of taking arrays value from user, we can do that by using for loop. Okay, so for integer type we are storing it I equal to 0, I less than 5, semicolon I plus plus. So to store that we use scanf function. So scanf %d comma ampersand a of I means the value I here at the beginning is 0. So at integer array a of 5 we have declared 5 vacant spaces to integer. Okay, so at 0th index it will store the first element. Okay, %d comma ampersand a of 0 and scanf, you know, we used to take the input from user. Okay, so it will go up here, increment the value of 1, so I become 1. At the index of 1 it will store the value which is entered by user. Again go up here, increment the value become 2, so at index of 2 means here it will store the value whatever the user has entered. Okay, will go up to 4. Okay, and remember, when you declare I equal to 0, you need to, and you want to get 5 elements, so it should be less than 5. Okay, that means 0 1 2 3 4 means 5 elements are done, as because we are starting it from 0. You can start from 1. If you are starting it with 1, then I equal to 1 semicolon I is less than equal to 5. Equal to sign is very important, because 1, if you didn't add that equal to sign, then it will store only 4 values. 1 2 3 4 means at the when I become 5, so it will come out of the loop, as because condition is false. Okay, I hope you are getting it. Okay, so in this way we can store the data. So to understand it in more efficient way, let's jump into coding to understand more on arrays. Okay, so let's understand arrays in a programmatic way. So we will create a program that will take students marks, and it will give us average and total sum of the marks which is entered by user. Okay, so let's do it. So let me define integer I for our for loop, sum which is initialized to 0 for first time, because we are storing total sum of numbers in a variable, and average variable which will be holding average of the all marks. Okay, and here is a special thing, integer a of 5, because we are storing 5 students mark 5 marks of a student in a integer type a, and our variable of array type is a. Okay, clr for cleaning the screen. Ask user to enter 5 marks of student. Okay, and we will take the students marks by using for loop. Okay, so let's do it. So for I equal to 0, as because array starts with 0, I is less than 5 semicolon I plus plus. Okay, then here scanf %d, sorry, small comma ampersand a of I. Okay, in this way we store arrays from user. Okay, it will store one by one elements in array type of integer a. Okay, so we want to perform, we have got the array and stored it in our integer type array a. So we need to perform sum operation, means adding all the marks and find the average. So for the 2 we need for loop for I equal to 0, which is starting from 0, comma I is less than 5 semicolon I plus plus. Obviously we can start array from 1, but I prefer from 0. It's up to your choice. It's up to your choice, sorry. So as well, adding up sum equal to sum plus what will be it, a of I. Okay, this is the logic for adding each element. Okay, so I equal to 0 means value of I is here 0. So what will be the value which is entered by 0 and it is stored in array at index of 0, it will be come up here and added with the sum variable, and it is stored in sum. Okay, this one by one it will add all the values and store it in our sum variable. Okay, okay, here our for loop will close, and we want to find the average. So we will find average by this method, sum divided by 5, which is 5 subjects. Okay, You guys know that how to find average. So we will print that out. Printf total sum of marks is %d, comma, where we have stored that in some variable. Okay, and now we will print out our average. Average of marks is %d, comma, avg, sorry, avg. Okay, get ch, gtch. Okay, let me save it. So, alt F9, 0 errors. Let's see what we have done till now. We have created I, declared all the variables, declared the array type of integer a, which will hold 5 integer type values. So in this case, we are taking 5 integer type values as a marks of student. Okay, we are storing it by using for loop. I equal to 0 to 5. We store it in our variable of array type a. For I equal to 0, it will sum of all the elements, and all the sum is used to perform the average operation. Okay, and we are just simply printing that out. Simple enough. Okay, so let's run it. Enter 5 marks of students. Let's see, 80, enter, 70, enter, 67, enter, 56, enter, and 98, enter. Total sum of marks is 371 and average of marks is 74. Okay, in this way we perform different operations on array. So for more efficient way, let me define a float variable avg. Okay, means they are performing the average operation, so there is a point, some float value there. So let me change here %f for float and average as it is. Alt F9, Control F9. Add the sum 5 marks for students. 90, enter, 89, enter, 78, enter, 67, enter, 89. Total sum of marks is 413 and average of marks is 82.0. Okay, in this way array works. I hope you got the idea about arrays, why it is important. So that's it for our video. If you found any doubt, please let me know in the comments. And there is a quiz on our website, so do check that out and test yourself out. Okay, we will cover what are 2D arrays, what are functions in the next videos. Okay, so stay tuned for it.